now we're moving on to the need of mastery, about how we can restore and nurture mastery in our young people with the SICK-CAP process. So sometimes it's deceiving, the word mastery. People tend to think that means I don't master it till I can do it perfectly. And mastery is not about perfection. It's more about self-efficacy, that I have the belief that I can accomplish something and I can continue to get better at whatever the task is. So don't confuse perfection with mastery. It's about the belief that one can accomplish something. It's about having the desire to accomplish things, the belief that even when something is difficult, that you can work through it, and that you'll continue to get better and better at something as you practice. Defining a goal, persevering, and seeing oneself as capable is a good overview of what mastery means. So just continuing on and defining mastery, it's about self-esteem and feeling good about oneself. And we're gonna go through, there's several self-esteem worksheets in your guidebook that we're gonna go through. Some of them are just there for you to use with your young people to make photocopies of or do yourself as a self-care exercise. Self-efficacy, as we mentioned, is the belief that you have the skills necessary to accomplish tasks and that you can rely on them to help you navigate through some of the difficult circumstances. That when there is adversity, that you can cope with it and learn from your failures. So when we have asked our students in schools, what does it mean to them to master something? Different areas that they can master things in schools are with any kind of subject, right? Being able to take a test and pass a comprehension level of a certain subject. And there's also areas outside the classroom, art, library, music, gym, those kinds of things, computer lab, someone who's skilled in the technology fields. Socially, like being able to make friends. Some people naturally can make friends. Sometimes it's difficult for others to get along and compromise with other people. Behaviorally, right, we have those students that there are rule followers. They want to see the rules and they want to follow the rules. So that's an area they can master. Understanding and knowing yourself is an important area that we talk to about our young person with mastery. Knowing what you need, what your body needs, knowing how you can handle stress and how to regulate yourself, that's an important point of mastery also. And then of course, any kind of hobbies, whether they're really good at arts or crafts type stuff, or if they're an athlete that's good at sports, those are all the ways that kids identify to us that they can get their need of mastery being met in school. So also, how can students role model or help others feel mastery? So these are what kids told us, how they can help their peers with mastery. So this includes role modeling also, not just trying to impose mastery on somebody else. So in gym, learning how to be healthy and strong, and learning what it needs for your body needs for exercise. The library, making improvements in reading, so upping your reading level, and and role modeling that for your peers. At art, getting better at having patience with yourself. I was always really bad at art, and I still struggle with anything creative. So that was an area that I needed to practice mastery and having the belief for self-efficacy in that area. In recess, so maybe playing new games, or if you have a young person that struggles with being social, they could practice making friends and doing things with new people in recess. Classrooms, role model or completing work to the best of your ability. Encouraging others in music, maybe if they're having trouble learning something new. In line, so if the class has to line up, standing and walking with pride, so feeling like that sense of belonging also with that. And in cafeteria, maybe contributing to fun times and knowing that you have the ability to connect with others. So when students told us, how can educators promote mastery, these are some of the things they said. So as educators, they said, celebrate our accomplishments and hard work. Answer questions, give tips, and explain things differently. People hear things differently, so use different ways to explain some of the instruction. To encourage and motivate students, to notice when things are difficult and support students, and plan cooperative activities in the class, not always competitive activities. Have students solve problems out loud. This often slows down the process of critical thinking and analysis so that everybody can hear what others are thinking. Pose open-ended questions, not necessarily yes and no questions. Tell me what you know about the Civil War. Tell me what you know about solving this math problem. Or how can you break this down into smaller steps? So asking those kinds of open-ended questions help promote mastery for our young people. So now we're going to continue on with mastery and talk about activities that can nurture and restore mastery in our young people. Affirmations. Having young people repeat back things that they're good at. I am unique, I am smart, I am intelligent. There's all kinds of affirmations we can use with our young people. Confidence. Having young people tell you a story about the last time they felt confident. Having young people write a journal article about when they felt confident. Activities that make them feel confident. Finding ways to incorporate that into your curriculum would be wonderful. A win success journal. So having young people talk about the wins that they had this week or the wins that they had over the summer or things that they feel successful at. So just having kids write those things down to tell you stories about them, to talk about them with a peer. There's all kinds of ways you can break those activities down. My coat of arms or family crest. This is where young people will fill out this crest. It's similar to our shield of joy, but they'll fill out the things that they're proud about with their family or loved ones. What are their goals? So having young people write a goal of what they want to achieve, and the goals can be for the week, for the day, for the month. You can make the goals whatever they need to be. The obstacle course. So this is something where the young people can talk about what their long-term goal is, and then they talk about the things that are going to be in their way maybe to achieving that goal, or the obstacles that they have and ways to overcome them. That will really help the young people feel mastery in the sense that they know there's going to be adversity, but they're going to have a plan to overcome that by jumping over those obstacles and achieving their goal. And having them write that out is important. Processing praise. We want to make sure we praise efforts and strategies used to bring success for our young people. You did well because you kept trying. We don't always want to, when someone does something well, the end result is still great, but we have to make sure we're also praising that effort. And that we're praising tangible things, that we're not saying you did great because you're smart, but you did well because you're hardworking, and you did well because you kept trying, that you didn't give up, that you faced some difficulty and kept going. And when things don't go well, it's okay to say, yeah, sometimes life's hard and we don't always get what we want. Or it's okay to be disappointed that things didn't work out. Let's figure out a way we can try something different, or how can we achieve another goal. So it's okay to acknowledge that they're not going to always master everything that they attempt, but we definitely want to praise the effort involved with that. Wheel of Strength. So if you want to turn in your guidebook to the Wheel of Strength, you'll see that activity on our screen. This is where the young people can fill in the blanks of things that they have that they believe are strengths in themselves. So we want to have them complete that activity. This is a great thing that you have the class do together. They can share what their strengths are. The class can come up creatively with ways that they can use each other's strengths. So if someone lists that they're good at something, they can make that their job for the week in the classroom. So it's a great way to also incorporate that sense of belonging, where the kids can feel a sense of belonging to each other, knowing each other's strength and being able to master those strengths. And also that if you look in your guidebook, there are several activities around self-esteem that we haven't specifically mentioned. We put a lot of extra ones in there because we know that's really important for our young people. So feel free to fill some of those out for yourself so that you get an idea of what the questions are. And feel free to make photocopies of those and use those with your young people in your class.